So welcome. Now, if you sometimes struggle with student motivation, but you're committed to creating a classroom that brings out the best in all the students that you work with, this interview is for you. Now, Nicole Nossiter is the founder of Growing Strong Minds, and she's going to share with you some tips that can not only help keep your students motivated, but can also improve their well-being. This is a really win-win-win interview, so I can't wait to get started. So welcome, Nicole. Thank you for being here. I wanted to interview because student motivation is such a big topic for teachers, and you do amazing work with strengths work in classrooms. So could you first tell us about what strengths are, so we're all on the same page about that?
Yeah, sure. So when we're talking in terms of strengths, there's a variety of different strengths. So we've got our talents, the things that we might naturally be good at, our skills, what we've learned, our resources, so our support networks, our interests, so the areas we might pursue as a hobby, and then we've got our character strengths. So our character strengths are the distinctive qualities that are the best in us. So they're really what's important to us and what we value. And what's really exciting about character strengths and what sort of differentiates them from these other strengths is that our character strengths are what really enhance our well-being. And they're what make us good citizens. So we talk about them helping us to feel good and to do good in the community. And these other strengths, like our talents and our skills, they might come and go and they might bring us fame and fortune, but it's not necessarily long lasting and it doesn't necessarily enhance our well-being. And for us, that work in positive psychology, we're really excited about these specific 24 character strengths because we know that they're scientifically validated. So people have talked about us having a strength-based perspective for years, but it's only since 2004 that we've had a set of scientifically validated strengths. So we know that these strengths were researched by 55 scientists over 5 years, and they found that this specific set are valued across culture, religion, gender and race. So they're applicable to everyone. Every student, every staff member will be able to relate to some of these strengths.
It's fantastic. And why should we bring these 24 character strengths into our classroom? Why do you think that's such an important tool for us as educators and for our students?
Yeah. So many reasons. I love character strengths. Character strengths basically enhance our well-being. And we know that when we have better well-being, we have better academic outcomes. And specifically when we're talking about well-being, they increase our energy levels, increase our engagement, so we're more on task, we're more motivated, we're more creative, we're more confident, we're more satisfied in the work that we're doing. We're better able to manage our stress levels and they build our resilience. So there's so many benefits to using them in the classroom.
It's really, when you talk about it, it's reminding me that it's a tool that's helping students bring out the best in themselves as much as us seeing the best of our students. I mean, it's like a win-win.
Yes.
When we've got that vocabulary in the classroom or those tools in the classroom. The third question is, the magic question is, how do we bring strengths? What are some of your favorite ways bringing strengths into our classrooms?
Okay, so there's so many ways. So what I suggest is you have the character strengths on display in the classroom, so students can actually interact with them. So you might say, we're learning a new strategy, what strength would help us with that? So they can go and choose, say, perseverance, they need to keep practicing. Bravery, they need to take some risks in their learning, they're going to make lots of mistakes. Kindness to themselves, they need to be using helpful self-talk. Or you might have their character strengths, their top strengths. So their top strengths are referred to as their signature strengths. And they're the ones that when we know and use them, we really enhance our well-being. So ideally, you'd have all your students being able to identify their top strengths, which if they're over 10 years and above, they can do an online survey at the VIA website. So you'd have those 5 strengths. Each student might have them in the front of their notebook. So you can say, we're learning this new strategy. What's one of your signature strengths that will help you with that, so they can refer to them. So for instance, if hope's one of their signature strengths, maybe they want to bring forward their optimistic thinking style. Or if humour's one of their strengths, they might want to bring a bit of lightheartedness and a bit of humour to the situation. Or teamwork, they might want to learn the strength with a partner, team up with someone. So other ways we can bring strengths into the classroom.
Well, can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
I think what's so powerful about it, like we were just saying about, it's common language and you're front loading. So a lot of times, like when we give an assignment out, and it's like, but you're front loading something so that it's really empowering in so many kinds of ways, right? So you're talking about having that on the binder in the classroom. Is there anything else you can think about that just to make it front and center for the students to be using it?
Yeah. I mean, you can do activities like strength spotting. So not only does it keep us on task and motivate us, but it really enhances relationships. And we know that having good relationships has the biggest impact on our well-being. And then, as we said earlier, when you have good well-being, you have better academic outcomes. So you might do an activity where you have every student gets given another student in the class to anonymously spot for the week. So then they have to feedback at the end of the week, a couple of strengths they notice them demonstrating. So you're keeping that strength sort of perspective front of mind for them. So they're looking for the best in one another.
You're building community in that classroom. So it's a constant, consistent tool that's being used. So we're not only helping students stay motivated, but we're boosting their well-being. It's like the win-win-win strategy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's try this. We want to ask you a question because we're talking about student motivation. It's a big topic. And what we want to know is, what is your top tip to boosting student motivation? So we'd love for you to jump over to the website, add the comments below. There's some of the best conversations in there. And if you're part of the community coaching program, we're going to extend this interview because what I want to talk about is what you alluded to, how do we use strengths to build community and those relationships? We'll do that in just a second.
Sure.
So until then, we want to thank you for the work you're doing for the world. And as always, thank you for what you're doing. It's really important conversations. We'll continue it in the community coaching program. So we'll see you next time.